Hello folks, Junkie Rock 13 here, everything vaping related, it's Junkie Rock 13. My real name is Ross Sanders, and today we're taking a look at the China Sentinel. This device is all mechanical and made out of aluminum and brass. It was sent to me from AKA Vapers for purpose of review. It is a clone of the other device called the Sentinel. I do not own the original. I have never had one in my hands, so I cannot comment on it. I just know that other people that have had it really like it. I was kind of excited to get this. I couldn't afford to get all the devices that I really like out there. Sentinel is a very nice looking device. This device, in my opinion, from the way they look online, looks like a direct copy of it. So we're going to take a close look of this and see what I think about it. Let's get right to it. Okay folks, so here we go. Here's the close-up of the China Sentinel. First off, I'm going to start off by talking about the main body tubes. These are made out of aluminum. They're all grooved and threaded all the way through. Both tubes are the same size and they're both threaded, so they're both exactly the same. Because they're made out of aluminum, they are very light and almost feel like they're cheap, but the strength of them is pretty solid. They're not gonna bend. Very lightweight though. The center tube is made out of brass, threading on both ends that will thread into both of the main body tubes. Okay. There is knurling all the way around this. 3 little vent holes right directly in the center. One there, and then one all the way over here. Okay. There's 3 little grooves in the knurling there. I would like to say I've had this for a couple weeks now, and I have cleaned this probably 4 or 5 times with brass cleaner because it just oxidizes, and there's very high maintenance with brass. I will leave it at that. Your 510 connection top cap is 510, and there is little tiny air grooves in the center ring, but there is no air grooves in the outer ring. So if you do have a device that is gonna sit flush right onto this outer ring here that requires air coming from your 510 connection, you will have a hard time getting air that way. Okay. But speaking about stuff sitting flush on this, this is not a floating pin. It does not float in and out, but it is spring loaded. So I'm just going to take this screwdriver and actually push down on it, and you notice that the bottom is coming out. So it is spring loaded, and if you do have a device that pushes down a little bit further, it will push this down and make more contact with the battery down here. All made out of aluminum and brass. Solid Delrin insulator in the middle there. The rest of the pieces here are all of the switch mechanism. I'm going to put it together and explain it while I put it together. This base piece of the switch is all solid brass with the exception of this insulator here. And the insulator ring the battery, negative side, will actually sit right on that insulator, so the battery doesn't make contact with the brass until you push the button. So with this sitting on that insulator, the little center pin right here will get pushed up and into the battery, which will make the complete current. There's threading on both ends here, and then a polished little smooth ring that basically goes all the way around, which will be seen on the outside of the device. There's a little groove in there that the spring will actually sit into. And on this side, this aluminum ring that is threaded and does have this nice little machining done onto it will screw directly onto that, and this little ring right here will act as your locking mechanism as well. So I'm just going to put the spring right in there and set this down for 1 second. The little pin that will be making contact with the battery is just a little threaded brass nut. Okay, but if you look on there, you will notice that there is some engraving or electroplating or whatever it's called there. It says e-cig. Okay, so that's on there, and then on the bottom button, which is threaded right here and all made of brass as well, this one also has engraving on it. You can see it says Sentinel. Okay. And I have cleaned this with brass cleaner because it really does oxidize fast. So I'm going to put together this switch. I've already put on a locking ring. Take the button and just push it down through with that spring. And then underneath, you will just take this little nut there and tighten it onto that threading of the button. Screw it down as far as you possibly can, and then just hold it with your finger and screw it down the rest of the way. Hold it in with your finger as tight as you possibly can, and just tighten it down as fast as you can, as far as you can. And then your locking mechanism will unscrew. It will not fire. Pushes in, and now it will fire, and you'll notice the pin coming out on that side. So let's put this together. I'll put the center tube in here and just put both ends. Okay, 510 connection top cap and the bottom switch mechanism. So there you go. There is the China Sentinel. I'll show you what it looks like with an 18650 in. Okay, I like to make it nice and even in the middle. So there it is in 18650 mode, 18500. Put the top cap back in. So there it is in 18500. And last but not least, 18350. It screws all the way down, and you'll notice there is a little rattle in there. So you can take care of that. This is with a AWIMR. Okay. You can take care of that by either, how did I take care of this? Oh, you can take care of this by putting a spacer on, battery spacer, magnets. I actually have only small ones right now. Or, what was the other way that I did this? Oh, by pushing down your pin on certain devices. Let me see if this K-Fun actually pushes down on this. It does. It pushes down the pin a little bit. So with that in there, now it's nice and tight. Oh, actually, this is not the K-Fun. It's actually my rich man. I can't believe it. They got the both same finish, so I thought it was the K-Fun. But you can see it is vaping. So as long as it's pushing down that pin, you can eliminate that little rattle there for the 18350. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is put back in the 18650 because that is what I've been liking to vape with this. Okay. So there is the China Sentinel. Let me just straighten that out, even that out a little bit. All right. So there is the China Sentinel. Let's vape it and see what I think about it. Okay, folks, so there you have the close-up of the Sentinel. I did just check the AKA Vapers site, and unfortunately right now the aluminum and brass Sentinel I did not see in stock, but they do have the all brass. So where you see aluminum on this, it's completely brass, which is kind of nice. Probably really shiny, probably a little bit heavier than the aluminum. I'm assuming it may perform, if not exactly like this, better because of the brass. The only thing I will say is brass does come with some maintenance. You need to keep it clean. There's Cape Cod. I know some people use Brasso, brass cleaner, but it looks really nice. I have an AGA T2 on here, and it's a pretty decent looking device. Let me give it a vape. As you can see, switch and device works great. It's an all mechanical device. It's a solid little inexpensive device for around 30 bucks. In my opinion, you can't go wrong. You want to check it out? Get over to AKA Vapers. I will leave a link down below. I do like the locking ring on this. When you have it all the way out, you can set it down flat and the device will not fire and will stand up nicely. Okay, I'm enjoying it. The one negative I can see with this device is the outer ring on this. If you were looking for a tank that has airflow from your 510 connection, this outer ring right here does not have any little air grooves. So but if you're using Genesis devices, they do fit nice and flush on there. Looks kind of nice with the AGAT 2 on there. Little grooves match up with the grooves on there. I kind of like it. That's all I got, folks. Be kind to one another and keep on vaping, everybody. Take care.